Hey, hey. Hi, guys. So good to see you all. All right. Happy day. I thought that we would go ahead and jump in and do a little bit of a specific message, but we're going to keep it just focusing on specifically what's good that's coming up. Also, those of you who have heard me talk about this already, you know that we'll be doing something a little bit special later on this evening. I'll be going live. We'll do some card pulls. Also, I will post all of the winners later on tonight around midnight for all the zodiacs. But in the meantime, let's just take a peek at what's the good energy right now in general that is surrounding a character. All right, what's coming in, what kind of good vibes. This is the week where 4 years ago I got my baby dog Aries, and so this is a very happy time for me. I have a lot of nice memories, and so I decided, in honor of the fact that in Nepal they have a specific Hindu festival where they thank dogs for being loyal and wonderful companions and friends. And I thought that was so sweet. This is kind of a bit of an inspiration from that. That festival is Kukar Tihar. Tihar, excuse me. But That happens around October, November. So obviously this is not associated with this, but I still like the fact that marigolds are considered to be really cheerful, symbols of like good luck and happiness. And I decided I would go ahead and paint my Aries in somewhat of an honoring location and kind of highlight his little third eye there and give him a little garland of happy little marigolds. And so, anyway, yes, love is a four-legged word. So we're going all doggy this week. The light, thank you so much. Yes, Annie, yes, you spotted it. Oh my God, the light, you're such a sweetheart. Thank you, love. All right, yeah, sorry guys, I'm not much of an artist. I have fun with it, but I'm very impressionistic. If I had worked hard, I only had like an hour and a half, and it's on. Believe it or not, this is on cardboard. Well, yeah, I'm sure you can believe it. You can see the lines of it. This was up until yesterday. This cardboard housed the cat house that I bought for the kittens, and I was like, huh, I could use that box because I'm starting to assemble the cat house. It's like one of the big, they call them catios. And I thought I could use that box. So indeed I painted it. And yeah, that's that's my junkyard art that I like to play with sometimes. So all that aside, I just thought since this is Tarot Dog, and since you guys hear him bark, I think more than anybody, I thought it was only fair that I mention some of this to you guys, so that you understand why is Kate doing this? Because Kate's a nut. But y'all already knew that. EM, thank you. The light, thank you. You guys are so sweet. All right, so what are the good things coming in for a character right now? Well, we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is very, very, very positive. The water wheel is turning and it's bringing with it power. It's going to power up things in a character's life, possibly things like love, things like happiness, because we do have the King of Cups and he's on the move and he's got love on his mind. You notice that the cup hovers over his head. He's, I would say, a little bit drowning in his emotions right now, but in a really good way. Sorry, guys. I know my hair, it looks like it's a shipwreck. I'm kind of a mess today, guys. Nothing is going according to plan, but we're here and we're going to have fun anyway. And just so you guys know, sorry, I tried. But I love the fact that we have a character that is in the midst of making their life better, gravitating towards something that he wants. This is the story so far of a King of Cups. But his life is turning in the right direction, maybe because he's following his heart, maybe because he's letting his emotions, flow him in the right direction, the direction he belongs, the direction toward an Empress. We also have a Nine of Swords. If there is an Empress out there who could really use a soft touch, could really use somebody that is kind, could really use some kind of love in her life, well, I don't think it's going to be too long before this very wonderful King of Cups enters into her universe. The Wheel of Fortune is obviously not just impacting him. He's in a better frame of mind. His heart is more open. His emotions are more stable. But he's kind of out like questing across the countryside looking for some kind of love, or he's looking for her because he's already in love with her. The fact that he's halfway submerged in the river makes me kind of think that he already knows who she is, but I feel like he's going to be coming in the nick of time. I feel like maybe she really needs him. Maybe she could use, even an Empress needs somebody, right? We have a Two of Swords. Nothing has been, this Empress kind of shut down on everything other than her work. Whatever she nurtures, whatever she gives to, in this case, we see her being an excellent mama, but then quietly, silently off when she's by herself, she has a lot of tears. She has a lot of stress. It could be, God, I could use a break. God, this is getting expensive. I don't have a partner. I don't have somebody to help me. I don't have the kind of support around me, but it doesn't mean I'm going to stop giving or stop loving. I'm always going to still do my best, but wow, it'd be wonderful to have a little bit of help at some point. But she's also kind of in a place where I don't think she's seen anything or anyone she would trust to bring into her life right now. I think that's going to change because we've got somebody wonderful that is gravitating into her world. She could look amazing in red, by the way. She could be somebody, I could see her as like a school teacher. I could see her as somebody that works with children, maybe, early childhood development or preschool teacher or Sunday school teacher, or she could be somebody who just has like a lot of really wonderful vibes. And she's very good at compartmentalizing. She can handle all the stresses of the day and not cease to be compassionate and nurturing, to whomever or whatever she's, giving her energy to. So we have a really lovely energy. But again, it's nice because he has that flash of red too. Maybe when they meet, they'll both be having some kind of red, whatever, red baseball cap, red blouse, whatever it may be. We have the Magus, which is this card I particularly love out of this deck. This is the Magician. But if we look behind him, you see very softly, this is one of my absolute favorite paintings on the face of the planet. It is called the School of Athens. It's in Rome, actually at the Vatican. But it's interesting because everyone that you see in this murky little picture, they're all the world's famous mathematicians and philosophers. And it depicts, and like every face in there is someone of great intellect. And in the middle, there's an argument going on with the philosophers, the argument of, is mankind a mortal having like a spiritual experience, or are we spiritual beings having a mortal experience? Which is it? And I've always thought it's somewhere in between. It's a little of both. We are both things. And I don't know how you would quantify which we are more of. But I kind of think that's where the beauty of being alive is. But it does, this is the Magician. This is somebody who's empowered. This is somebody who's realized that they make their own life. They create the universe around them. 11-8. Thank you. Angel, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. This feels so like he's so determined to pursue something beautiful, to pursue something good, to go toward what he wants. He's so determined to gravitate toward the good things in his life. He could be a Virgo or a Gemini. He could also be a water sign. By the way, I didn't even mention this, but we could have started out with some pretty strong influence of Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, or Taurus as well. 10 of Pentacles. Here he is again on his pony. I like this cat. He's always riding. He's always going. And you notice he's approaching the castle. Who lives in the castle? The Empress. I feel like he is headed toward her world, headed toward her life. I feel like, does he know where she lives? Is that what this is? He wants something that's going to be good for him, but he also has something that he wants to share. We have a 7 of Pentacles. So does he know where she lives? Does he already know of her? He's known of her for quite some time. 7 of Pentacles, he's known of her. Oh, and look, he's in red. Are we even surprised? There's all of this. I don't know why. Even here, we have a flash of red behind him on the Magician card. There's something here about, red is a color of passion, of desire. Now, here's the thing. We do have a timeline associated with this because they said, does he know who she is? He does, and he's known for a long time, but I think he got real serious about her somewhere around the fall probably of last year, right? Because we have all those little pumpkins and like the cornucopia, the horn of plenty. We've got a King of Pentacles, but he couldn't move toward her at that point. There was something either that he got real serious all of a sudden, like I got to get some stuff tidied up, worked out, finances. He may have had to plan. He might've been planning this since last September, October, which is again, perfect timing because we have her. right? We have her never more in need of someone than she is now, and also never more certain that she doesn't see anybody around her that she would, like welcome in. She doesn't see the kind of support or help that she may actually need coming in. She's not exactly welcoming in just any old, individual either. But let's go with, that's the deck I want. Okay. Tell me just a little bit about her. By the way, she's sitting here with pumpkins too. Maybe they're actually going to wind up in each other's worlds not until this fall, right around, October or something, pumpkin time. On her side, we have a Seven of Pentacles. It's been a long time for her too. Long time that she has either wished she had someone. Hang on. Do you wish for him? They both have the Seven of Pentacles, so it makes me wonder. We have got the Seven of Cups. No. And the Eight of Swords. No, it's not that she wishes for him. She wishes that there was someone. There's a great song by Anthony and the Johnsons. Amazing voice. Oh my God, that guy is so incredible. I think I don't know if she still goes by Anthony or not. I think that there's another name that they've chosen for themselves. But in any case, when I was first introduced to the band, it was Anthony and the Johnsons. So forgive me if I'm not up to date on some changes. But in any case, there's a song, Hope There's Someone Who'll Take Care of Me. I can't think of it's the same album that has Fistful of Love on it, which is another song I absolutely love. It's like amazing. Kind of some darker songs for sure, but amazing voice, amazing compositions. This feels like she's wishing that there was someone out there, but again, we see her stuck. We see her stuck an awful lot, yet still continuing to nurture the things that she needs to in her life. We see Nine of Swords, we see Two of Swords, we see Eight of Swords. That's way too much stuck in her head kind of energy. And then this is the confusion of, I don't know, is there anyone out there for me? Or will I just be the Empress who runs an empire alone? Hey, let me at least nurture the things that I have in life that I can turn my attention to, that I really care greatly about. Let me go ahead and do that. We have got the Four of Wands. It's always like love, marriage. She's an Empress who actually wants a companion. She wants to build and co-create, and there's no harm, no foul. If somebody wants to just do it solo, they can totally do it solo. On the other hand, somebody who wants to co-create, someone who has a big heart and they have a lot to give and they would like to receive, that's definitely her. So she's had this dream, but it's like, I think I'd be a great partner, but I haven't met somebody who I guess wants to partner with me. This feels like, oh, she's going to be such an amazing partner. And maybe that's why this has taken time, because she really deserves something amazing, right? Maybe the universe has done her a solid. If what she deserves is somebody absolutely fabulous and that person hasn't been ready for her, then maybe that's why she hasn't had somebody yet. And that would make perfect sense. And it wouldn't be unkind or to be cruel. It's just, I always say, you don't want to pull your brownies out of the oven before they're baked. Otherwise, you just got warm goo. And warm goo is still fairly tasty, but it won't hit the same way a nice chewy brownie will. So maybe the bun was still in the oven. The brownies were still baking. And that's why it's been a while and she still hasn't seen anybody. But it's because she's an Empress. She's got to have somebody worthy of being with an Empress. So if she's been kind of like, I don't see anybody, nobody seems to connect with me, nobody seems to want to step up and, be with me in my empire, even though I would love to have somebody like that, I would just say, darling, I think you've outclassed yourself a bit. And the person who's right for you, they're headed your way, but there's some stuff that they've been working on too. They fell for you a long time ago and they needed to get some stuff sorted out in their own life. Give it some time. They're coming your way. We have got the Five of Swords. We've got the Four of Pentacles. She has definitely been having some, probably this is the roughest patch of cards I've ever seen for an Empress who otherwise is still an Empress upright. Talk about compartmentalization. She's had some anguish. She's had some pissed offedness. She's had some, fuck it, I'm just done with love stuff. I'm not going to deal with it anymore. She's probably said all those things to herself. because this has been painful, that there's like, why is it that I always end up alone? Oh no, I'm hearing that song by the Bee Gees. Love that song. Somehow I always end up alone. We have got the Ace of Wands and we got the King of Wands. Okay. Here's her hope. Her hope springs eternal, as they say. Her hope has never actually gone away, that maybe someday there would be somebody, but she's certainly gotten to the point where she's not out seeking anymore. She's not been putting herself out there in a long time. She hasn't been trying to meet anybody in a very long time. She's gone into, I feel like she's been riding the waves of, you know what, I'm going to love my life. I'm going to nurture what I can. But on the inside, I have been angry. I've been hurt. I have cried. I have been rejecting everything now. And I've also still somehow in the midst of all this internal turmoil, I still hope I meet somebody. I just think that this is now buried pretty deep inside of her, that little bit of hope. We got the little bonsai tree of hope in the hands. She never fully gives up, which an Empress never does. And she never fully gets, so crusted over that she can't still say yeah, I mean, sure, there could be somebody out there for me. But man, it's been a long time that I've been single. I really feel like this is an Empress who's been alone for such a long time. All right, let's go back over to him for just a second. I want to know a little bit more about your approach to her, because we can see that you are divinely guided. We can see that you're headed her way. 3 of Cups. We were talking about like maybe he's not arriving until, somewhere around the fall, but this is decidedly summertime. Are you approaching her quite soon then, sir? We have the Fool. Hell yeah. And here she is in a red dress. It'll be a day when she's in a really good mood. She could be going out for a walk with her cat, her fox, her badger, her pet weasel, or whatever, some little forest creature that likes to hang out with her perhaps, but she will be going out and about. We have the Magician. It'll be a day where she's actually in a better mood, and she, as a feminine magician, maybe even senses that she's going to have a really good day. She could be starting to manifest something, not love. She's probably going to be in a mood where she's got some other ideas on her mind. Some of her energy of dissatisfaction and hurt and pain has kind of like tempered out. I think she's going to be in a much better mood. She's going to be kind of like enjoying her life a bit, thinking about her future, thinking about manifesting, activities, things that she'd like to do. Maybe even she could be on the cusp of making some changes and she's getting excited about those things. Maybe she's thinking about moving. Maybe she's going to be, just out and about. I think love is the last thing on her mind. 10 of Wands is sideways. Yeah, she's kind of let go of a lot of the hurt, the pain, the frustration surrounding all of the confusion about love for herself. She's kind of almost pushed it to the back of her mind. That's not what is on the forefront of her mind anymore. I think for a chunk of time, that Empress maybe was a little bit like hyper focused on how come I never meet anyone? And now she's kind of like gotten through that and she's just in a chill mode. She kind of let go of thinking about romance because she's busy thinking about other things in her life. That's the day that they meet her. We've got a Queen of Swords. So funny because that is her purest energy. When she's not frustrated, she's not thinking about love stuff. She's instead a master attractor because her heart is like very much thinking about the life she wants to live, not necessarily about a person. She does better at drawing things toward herself when she looks at it from the big picture. And an Empress is always a big picture figure, right? They look at their life as a whole. I don't just need a warm body beside me. I don't want just a partner. I would like to have this amazing empire where I share I do something valuable with my empire, that I perhaps have a wonderful companion who is, on the same page as me. All of a sudden, if we put it in that context, it's less about where's the love of my life? How come I never meet anybody? And instead it's like, I'm manifesting this amazing image in my mind of maybe living in a different area, a place that maybe around mountains or living in a valley with mountains surrounding me. And I've got this idea of, kind of like what I'd like to do in that area, maybe a business I'd like to start. I could picture, a lot of positive things in my life. And it's just so crazy because she's so she's focused on a life project the day that she meets him, the day that he approaches her. Are you gravitating toward her with the divine, nudging you forward, or was this your plan all along, masculine? We have a 9 of Wands. I'm going to say definitely there was some divine guidance. It was 50-50, because this is him saying, well, I've been a wounded warrior. I had to sit down for a while by my tree of life because I knew that's what I needed to do, even though I wanted to move toward her. But healing is an act of the divine, right? You know, our incredible bodies have this like almost, you know, insane sci-fi magical power to heal internally without us doing much of anything. You know, sometimes we really have to support our bodies in healing, but really the body does a lot of its own stuff, right? And we don't have to sit there and be like, okay, white blood cells, you go and you fight this. And, you know, we don't have to sit there and tell ourselves what to do. Our body has this magical system inside that knows what it's supposed to do, right? What it's designed to do, which is mind blowing, but that's a whole nother topic. But I just feel like there's a certain amount of the divine helped him, but so too did his intentions, because to know that you're wounded and to know that you need to like put yourself back together, you know, do a little Humpty Dumpty, putting yourself back together before you go out seeking partnership, even if there's somebody you know you want. I would say that it was 50% his own intellect and 50% the divine working through him, with him. And we have the Eight of Wands. I definitely feel like we've got this beautiful waterfall. So again, I'm going to say him knowing that he wanted to go toward her, but knowing he shouldn't, that was partially him and the divine. But then him knowing when it's time to go toward her, that'll be the push from the divine, because it's the waterfall. It's the, I don't know where the surge of energies just came from, but today's the day. I got to go see her. I got to go talk to her. Today's my day. You know what? I love this. This could be on the 8th of some month, or perhaps this is, I mean, I know I was saying like September, October, but maybe it's August, just because we have the 8 there. We'll get one more. Anything about the timeline here? The Hierophant. I talk about the divine. I don't know if his spirit animal is the bison, the buffalo. I don't know if it's his connection to the divine is through a power animal, but the Hierophant is very much our connection to our higher self. This is also a card of marriage. It's a card of I'm ready to commit myself to something. And I feel like both of them probably share that same energy of she's out there, you know, having a good old day the day that they meet. She's going to be out, you know, excited, manifesting, you know, what she wants next for her life. She's already like open to universe. Here's what I'm thinking, but I'm like willing to put some effort out and we'll see what comes to pass. And if I want to move, if I want to plan some other things, like she's all up in her head thinking about these wonderful, you know, ways she'd like to develop her life. So she's already connecting to her higher self as well. This is definitely where he's at as well. So these two, you know, the plane that they have to meet on, the frequency that they have to meet on is actually the radical trust in their intuition, is what I would say, or their higher self, however we want to look at that. All right, I'm going to leave this one here, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Just a heads up, I will be going live at noon, so in about 10 minutes over on the other channel. Then tonight, when I get back, I will be going live here on this channel as well. I put out a message to my members to give you guys that extra heads up on that. It'll be for members, but also for subscribers in general. Okay. But I just wanted you guys to all know that that's coming up. And then around midnight is when the video will break for all of the winners for the zodiacs. And so we've got kind of a busy little night. We'll go live and have some fun. But you guys, thank you so much for being here. It's really great to see you. Patricia, you're so sweet. You know, Patricia, I have a Leo North Node, actually. Sarah J. Hey, darling. 11:8 AC. Hey, love. Hi, Katie. From a night owl down under. Shout out to you in Australia, my love. Or New Zealand, I suppose, right? Delinda, good to see you. Congratulations. Your second grandchild is due in September. I love that. Black Butterfly 25. Happy Aries Day. I love that. Thank you. EM, do you have it off? Do you have the sound off? Yes, SKE 80. That is Aries in the background. I painted him yesterday. I'm always going to be an impressionistic painter anyway, but in particular, this is like, you know what? At the end of the night tonight, when I'll take this down and I'll actually show you. But this is, you can see some of the, it folded a little bit because I painted it on just a piece of cardboard that was previously a box that held the kitten house that I bought, and I've got to put it together now. And so as I unboxed the catio yesterday, I was like, I could use that cardboard. I really should paint Aries. And so I decided that I would attempt, and it was, I only had like an hour and a half, and I'm not a great painter anyway. His tail is all jacked up. That is not his tail at all. But I have fun doing funky little things here and there. So anyway, I just thought it would be a little wonky dog picture behind me. I actually thought would be funny. Originally, I was just going to use this tablecloth that kind of has like some of the, I don't know, I felt like it was nice and festive looking. But then I thought, no, we gotta do something else more just for my Aries. Patricia Bocator. So the kittens belong to my family members. So for Mother's Day, my mom adores kittens, and for Mother's Day, I saw somebody who had 11 kittens. And so I went over and I got two of them, little grays, for my mom. And when I brought them over, my mother and my brother and I were all there together. My brother loves kittens more than I think even my mom and I do. And he instantly scooped them up and said, "These are my cats." And I was like, well, that's actually Mom's Mother's Day kittens. But I got thinking about it and I was like, I've wanted Aries to have a little buddy, and it's really hard to leave any kittens behind. And so I went back over to the lady and I said, "Do you think it would be selfish if we took one more kitten, one of the striped ones?" And she was very happy to oblige. And I had intended that I would keep Striper, and Striper would come live with us, and that would be Aries' best friend. What I had not anticipated is Striper hated Aries' guts with a passion and chased Aries around my house to the point where Aries stayed over by the front door, hoping he could leave. And Striper now dominated the whole living room. And Striper really likes people, so he would howl if I like went down the hallway because he wanted me in sight all the time. But then, of course, Aries is used to being with me, following me down the hall anywhere I go. So that wasn't going to work. So I ended up having to drive 85 miles round trip to go deliver Striper back to my mother, who in turn went back into my brother's hands, the kitten hoarder. So at this point, they are like collective family kittens that do not live with me. They are kind of my mother's, but my brother is obsessed with them. And we're all like animal people in my family. So it's not a shocker that my brother and his family would be nuts about them too. But in any case, that's what's happened with the kittens. So I don't see them all the time. But when I do, Aries is still, he's so much like less terrified of them now. He goes up and he puts his little nose like against their little pen. They're still pretty small. They're coming into teenage years, so they don't have to be in their pens like they did when they were so little, because we were afraid hawks would get them or something, or raccoons at night or something. But he will like stick his little snout, and they don't mind, except the littlest one, who we keep naming and renaming. Her name is Arthur slash Cleo. And we haven't landed on a real name for her, but she is the littlest and the feistiest. And she really, I think, just likes to play with him now and hiss at him, because she doesn't do it consistently. It's just here and there. But yeah, so that's what's going on with the kittens. That's why I don't have a lot of like, because I really thought that they were going to like sleep together and play together. And Aries is like, oh my God, they're terrifying. So that has not happened the way I thought it was going to. Yes. Oh my God, AC. So right. The clother. Oh my God, I love that 11-8. That's adorable. Ah, that's so nice. P.S. Hello there, you sweetie pie. Aries is napping right now. He's always here, trust me, but he is napping in his cool spot at the moment. Probably he'll pop in later on this evening, though. Black Moon Majesty, great to see you. Oh, I love that. It's very Mayan. That's awesome. I know, Patricia. uh, thank you, EM. I think my sister sent me this like last year or something. Dragon Fortnite. Thanks for being here. I know, Kung Fu Panda, leave no kid behind. I almost got 4 of them. And she's like, no, no, don't worry. You don't have to take any more. Other people are coming. And I was like, okay, because how do I leave any behind? There was 11, so I couldn't have 11, but I was thinking 4 might be a good number. No, no. Nore, I love that. Thank you. They're really nice kittens and they're so social. Oh my God. That's awesome, Nora. You fed these first graders candy. That's hilarious. I know, Sarah. I thought that was the best way to. I mean, the way I was going to have to set this up, he'd have to be behind me anyway, but it's nice to have him off to the side, like looking over my shoulder a little bit. Kismet Cat, good to see you. Oh, thank you. You're so awesome. Thank you, Kismet Cat Readings. Kung Fu Panda, you want that as a t-shirt? Um, it's it's pretty clunky, guys. This is I did it with just house paint, so I mean it's really, this is not the right medium to use. It's just what I had, and you can see it's on rippled cardboard, so it's pretty. And this, as I folded it, because I had to fold it to get it in the car and then get it back home because of where I had painted it, it ripped some of the paint off, so I'm gonna have to touch it up. But yeah. Junkyard art. Stargazer Shell, great to see you. All right, you guys, I'm going to bounce out of here so that I can go over to the other channel. Fancy Pants, yes, I really like this too. It's I was trying to get more like Nepalese inspired, outfits and jewelry and such, but it was really hard to find. I only, at secondhand stores throughout the years, I've collected a few things that I thought were nice, and I was like, ooh, I can finally wear some of these. All right, you guys, take care. I'll see you on the other side. We will go live over there. Thank you again, everybody. You are so sweet. All right, I'll see you soon. Oh, this is a giant flower garland. Yes, around his neck. I had to paint some of the marigolds. Those aren't real marigolds. I bought them. They're plastic ones, but I had to have the fringe. All right, you guys, take care. I'll see you again soon on the other channel. Bye.